Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I know there's some bad storms went through yesterday down in the south. Hope you guys are okay. I don't know how many tornadoes went through up north here. We've got a bunch of snow, so everybody be careful and be careful leaving out going to work tomorrow. But anyways, we kind of come on late. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but today is February 16th, 2025. Guys, I hope you got used to the new year coming on. All right, tonight shows, guys. We decided to get old Bear back because we wanted some more skeptic questions. And we are hoping that the chat room will help us out. We had another skeptic to come on, but he's sick and he's not able to. We still have another one that I'm looking forward to. I've been after this guy for quite a while to come on the show, and he's agreed to come on and ask some questions and have a good time with us tonight. But Stephen Hicks, you're a mess, man. Hold tight to you, Stephen Hicks. Hey, Josh, hope everyone's doing well over there on your end. But anyway, let's go ahead and get Mr. Bear on here. There we go. Hey, old Bear.
Hey, buddy.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm full and ready to go to sleep, but we got a show.
All right, let's get it going. All right, this guy here, I've known him a long, long time. He's a good friend of mine. He really is. He thinks he's a nut, but guys, he's a really good guy. I think the world of him. And he's been asking questions and stuff like that. And we want to try to get him to come on, and here he is. And hey, Miss Joanne, glad to see you, hon. I enjoyed last night. Guys, don't lead into that. That was another guy's live, and she is fun to talk to. So, anyways, here's my buddy. Hey, Mike, how you doing, bud?
Doing good. How are y'all?
Doing good. Doing good. Y'all make it through last night?
Oh, yeah. It got bad over to the west, but it didn't. We just had wind and rain here.
Yeah. All right.
Survived another one.
Yeah. All right. Talk to me again one more time, Mike.
Oh, did you lose me?
No, actually, I wanted to cut you up on your volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Testing. Yeah,
you're right.
Testing.
You're good. Hey, Miss Cheyenne, how are you doing? Hope you're doing all right tonight. All right. Let's get started. I've often wondered, people talk about some other creatures out there, and when they talk about them, it's kind of hard for me to get a hold of the concept of them. Okay. And you could go with Dogman, Wendigo, Skinwalkers, Chupacabras, all kinds of critters out there that you've seen on other shows. And it's hard for me to get a hold of that. All right. It's not hard for me to get a hold of Bigfoot because I've seen one, and I've often wondered, is the views that I look at on these other critters, is that what people in the Bigfoot world? Yes, I'm doing fine, Miss Shine. I hope you're doing well too, hon. So I'm kind of curious, as Mike, you say you kind of believe in them, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like you're talking about different creatures. A cousin of mine, we were out hunting when he was 16. I think I was 14. Y'all have heard of Wampus Cat. I swear we saw Wampus Cat. This thing was freaking huge. But, we little kids, we got the hell out of there pretty quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Guns and all. But, it's.
Describe this Wampus Cat to me, Mike.
Dude, if you see a lion out in the middle of the woods in Tanner, Alabama, you know what I'm talking about. It was big, ugly, and black, and had teeth that looked like they were about that long. And didn't really hang around a long time to check it out. We got out of there pretty quick.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of a Wampus Cat, just never heard of it around as much as I've heard other critters. Because used to they said Black Panthers and mountain lions was not in Alabama, when in truth they really were.
Yeah, they were. I've never seen one, but I know my granddad told us he saw a Black Panther out in the woods one time. Yeah.
We've heard them. Mike, Stephen, Mr. Hicks. Uh-oh.
Wow, that's kind of yeah. Hey,
Danny. All right. All right.
is
Go ahead, Mike.
is that generational or what? You see from big to small, so that's why I was wondering if it was generational. But don't blame me, Bear. Stephen Hicks started it, so
No, I know how Steve is.
Hey, good evening to you, James Escobar. I've seen that name somewhere before. And I think it's on Facebook. I need to friend him. Hey, Miss Sharon, how you doing, hon? Glad to see you. All right, let's get on with the questions. Mike, what question would you like to ask of Old Bear?
okay. The obvious one first is you see people when they say they spotted Bigfoot and they find prints. They never find more than one. They never find trails. That's one curiosity right there. I mean, do they wash away or that's just one that always bothered me when you're watching shows and stuff like that. Well, here's a print, but you only ever see one. This one thing.
Well, Mike, usually what happens is most people, when they find a print, they get so excited about it, they don't look. They don't look further than what they can see right around them, close, trying to find that second print. And then if they do look, they don't try to position themselves looking down a line from that first print, and then they go and well, there's all this leaf litter, and they step on stones and all this stuff. And hey, they made us climb a tree.
That's a really good point.
To add on to what Old Bear was saying, I do have a picture, but I can't release it. I'm under oath on this one. And it does show a trackway, and that's what they call it. What was you doing, Mike?
No, did you swear on the Bible?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
pretty much. Hey, my word is my word, So
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah,
you know me.
Yep. Dana Sherman and another day in Ohio. Hey, how are y'all doing? Good to see y'all. Now, Bear, let me ask you this, and I'm kind of curious about it myself. When they say something about footprints, and if they happen to do find, 3, 4, or more, I've heard that they actually walk in a straight line in front of each other. You know how our feet are sprayed out, and where your foot lands is, it could be 4, 5, 6 inches apart, whatever.
Right.
But theirs is more in line. Is that true?
Yes, it's because of the design of their hips. Um, they have, especially the males. The males are more narrow at the hips than a female, and they're narrow at the hips compared to a human. A human's hips are a certain width apart. Well, Bigfoot's tends to kind of be, and the way they walk with their bent knees, it's more of a shock absorption for them to walk in a straight line. It keeps them from wearing out their hips and their knee joints and the ankles because they support so much weight. And that single straight track line is because of the design of their hips and the way they have to walk.
So you're telling me that in a human figuration, our hips are more straight out or in line. You're saying the hips kind of V in more so than ours do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
It's because of their, heck, if you see an 8 foot tall creature, you're talking 700-800 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 5'10" and a half and 300 pounds. So I can, in order to keep my balance, because we walk stiff legged, we straighten our knees out. They don't. And the knee bend And the way they have to walk, it's more of a straight one foot in front of the other. And they have to walk that way because, they walk on uneven ground at all times. It's not like they're walking down a blacktop track or something. They're walking, on a side hill, or they're climbing up a hill, and it's more efficient for them and don't tire them out.
Okay. All right. We got a question in the chat room. James Escobar, thank you for the question, bud. And y'all are all welcome to ask questions tonight. So if you got some, line them up. Here we go. All right. James wants to know, have these creatures, along with dogmen, ever been sighted in urban areas?
Bigfoot has been sighted in urban areas, around strip malls where you got Burger Kings, Subways, Papa John's, you got Pizza Hut. All they do is whenever, these restaurants, whenever they throw food out, it's thrown out in the dumpster.
Mhm.
So Bigfoot is known to come to near town, and they've been seen in the suburban areas around big cities. So they come there to get easy food. It's the same thing as coyotes or raccoons or possums or any other animal out there. They come around where people are because it's easy access to food. No matter what kind of food we throw out, they can get in there and find a way in and get into it and eat it. So, I mean, what's better? To have to run half a mile and chase a deer down? Or
Yeah.
can I just go down to my local Subway and grab food out of the dumpster at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yep. That reminds me of what we were discussing the other night.
Okay.
We'll clue people in later on about that. But anyways, and I think this is actually a very good question. Hey, man, how you doing tonight, buddy? Stephen Hicks wants to know, Sasquatch are in a lot of states. Where are dogmen located? And I would think, Bear, on this one, where do you think they would, if you was wanting to go find one, what state would you go to, or how many states would you go to?
What's that?
If you want to find one, any of the 48 states of the United States, you find they've been reported throughout the 48 lower states. So, Hawaii is not had any reports of dog men. Alaska doesn't that I know of. But anywhere in the lower 48, you can find a dog man. There's reports all over of them.
Tommy, what was the name of that lake up in Kentucky where they were talking about?
LBL?
They were
Land
really about it.
between the lakes,
That's it.
LBL.
Yeah. Yep. Land between the lakes. Yeah,
So
they
that-
said. I don't think I'd want to visit there at nighttime, but it might be
Sure
kind of
you
interesting
do.
to go check out.
I'm trying to get Icebox to come down and go to the LBL. And
Ain't happening.
Mike, you'd be more than welcome to come up, and
Hey,
we can go play with the cryptids.
that'd be an interesting trip. Sure would.
Yeah.
As long as we get to be well armed.
I'm with Mike. Let's see. All right, we're gonna try this real quick, like, and just to see what happens. All right, there's the link. If you can get through, you'll be welcome. Come on, and we'll try to answer your questions. All right, Mike.
Yes, sir.
What other questions do you have?
Okay, I have to ask this one because Icebox tells me you're from West Virginia, right, Bear?
Yep.
What do you think about the Mountain Monsters TV show?
Well, I personally know 2 of the Mountain Monsters team. I met Bill and Trapper both at a bear bay here in West Virginia.
Okay.
And I know them both. And I talked to Trapper extensively before he even was on that show, and talked to him about cryptids, about Bigfoot mainly. And the show, they turned it into Hollywood like they do everything else. It wasn't, they went after the Wampus Beast here in West Virginia, which is a Wampus cat.
Yeah.
They did many different things. The Wolfman down in Kentucky, and they did Bigfoot here in West Virginia. They did Bigfoot in Ohio. They went after many different cryptids that are out there. And, there's been reports throughout West Virginia about these cryptids that they went after. But a lot of them are old, like maybe those cryptids had moved away and left the area. But it was Hollywood. They had to do something to make money
to
on the show. So
keep people watching it. Yeah, it seemed like it started off pretty good, and then it just spun out.
When Trapper got sick, it went pure Hollywood, and that was because the producers wanted to continue the series, and I get it, but it was Trapper brought the idea up to the Travel Channel or whatever channel they were on first, and he sold it to them, and it was great the first season. They only had 5 or 6 shows the first season, and then the second season was pretty good, but then after that it started going.
It seemed like after the second season it started going downhill. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this question: do you really think that they actually captured any of these creatures? Because they never end up, possessing them according to the show, but they do catch them in a trap, and somehow they get out all the time.
I think that was all just set up for the TV show, because if you did catch one,
they did get Hogzilla.
Dinner time.
Did he come up barbecued?
If I'd have been there, he'd have been barbecued.
Yeah, and I do understand that.
Yeah, that's just some things that they're making a whole big series about this, and there's got to be something to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or why would people watch it?
Well, it was here in West Virginia. It was definitely, it's hometown boys that were in on this show. So, and I've talked to a few of them since then. I've talked to Huckleberry and so on and so forth, and talked to him about his experience when he was younger, and all those things that they, every one of them had seen a cryptid at some point in their lives. And the only one that hadn't seen one was the heavyset guy from up Marietta. Can't remember his name very well. I'm not good at names. But he hadn't seen a cryptid, but he was on the show. So, and then once he got on the show, he'd seen things that convinced him that they're there.
So, Stephen, you don't think that Buck shared Hogzilla with the rest of the guys?
Doubtful.
Now, come on, but Buck was a big boy, but I don't think he could eat that whole thing.
Oh, you've never seen Buck eat before, have you?
No, just on TV.
That boy can eat.
All right. Hello, Linda Thompson. I haven't seen you in here before, but how are you doing tonight? All right. What's another question you got?
Another question. Has anyone ever found any body parts or graves or, something along that nature? Because, you would think if somebody found something like that, it'd just be all over the news, like headlines.
Right. Well, me and a very good friend of mine, we found a 9 foot long by about 6 foot wide grave out in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia. And we found a bone. We sent it to Jeff Meldrum. He signed for it himself. Contacted him a year later, and I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's supposed to be one of the top people when it comes to the construction of the foot of a Bigfoot and how they step, and he's supposed to know all this about their footprints. And I don't doubt that. He's very good at doing that. But he's just like everybody else. If he wants funding because he's a college professor,
Gotcha.
so
Yep.
where does that funding come from? 99% of the time it's through federal government.
Yeah.
That's why your colleges are public. They're not private. There's a lot of public colleges out there. And when it comes to these creatures, they can tell you to shut up or you don't get your money.
I kind of figured that was probably what the deal is with that. Keep it buried. We don't need to know, right?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I
Mike,
think
let me ask
everybody
you.
should know about them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there.
I want to know your opinion, Mike. What do you think if the government was to come out and say that they are the real deal and everything? What is your thoughts on what would happen to the general
Probably
public?
people would be running out to the woods every Tom, Dick, and Harry looking. People be getting hurt. People be getting killed. So it's probably maybe a good idea to keep it under wraps, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do.
I think, what is it? 2 years ago, they finally came out and said UFOs are real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
UFPs.
hey,
UFPs.
oh, my bad. My bad. Don't jump on me.
But I mean, it hasn't changed anything.
No, it hadn't changed. Well, that's everybody doesn't have an airplane to go up in the sky either to look around and see if they can find one. But everybody can go out in the woods. So I think it would cause a lot of people to get hurt or get killed out in the woods. Just
Huh. Interesting. Timothy Hayden, I haven't seen him before, but I'm glad you're here, buddy. Linda, you can comment anytime you want to. What human remains have been found of people who have been eaten or consumed by Bigfoot?
They found people's skulls. They found shoulder blades. They found ribs, backbones. They found, all the foot bones, the arms, the legs. They found all that stuff. But every time that something like that is found, where does it go? It goes to the local authorities, and the local authorities send it off for DNA to find out who this person was. And do you ever hear of it going to the families? No. There's been multiple, sets of bones found throughout the West, East, North, and South. And none of them have gone to the families. And if they have, it's because it was an actual bear kill or mountain lion kill, something that happened. They fell
always the bear
off.
of the mountain lion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that stuff typically does not make it back to the families because we don't have their DNA on record.
Okay, I apologize. I was trying to do something for somebody. Misfit Mania. I know who that is. Actually, we had a good conversation the other night with this gentleman. And anyways, I can't remember what all was talked about. But anyways, where was we at? Consumed, eaten by. What do you think really happened to Dennis Miller?
Go ahead, Mike. You touch that one.
Dennis Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you say? Well, he's a comedian. He's still alive, isn't he?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, that's the only one I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
Dennis Miller is like. Go ahead. Oh, Bear, you tell.
Dennis Miller was a child that was taken. He was with his family and he was playing around their campsite. They were camping and they had been out for a walk. And the mother and father turned around and he was gone. And then, according to the report about this child, it was told that a family that was out walking trails seen a very large black figure carrying what looked to be like a child approximately 5 miles away up a hillside where there was no trails. And they noticed this and they reported it to the police when they heard about this child being taken. And they sent Green Berets into that area. And what the Green Berets did was they never found the child or they found anything, and just kind of made it sound like it was just a hoax or something of that nature. And the mother and father were actually looked into heavily by the local police, thought they had killed their child, and there was no basis for that. But they tried to find a reason to uh, point it in a different direction than that creature that was seen 5 miles away carrying what looked to be like a human child.
How long ago was this? I've never heard this story before. So
What was it, Icebox, in the 60s or 70s, something
60s,
like that?
70s. Okay.
I can tell you real quick. I can look it up. But I believe you're right. Dennis Miller. This. Okay, right there. Oh. This was back in 1969.
1969. Yeah, it's a little right at my time anyway. Yeah.
And I apologize for anybody looking it up. It's not Dennis Miller. It is Dennis Martin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's where you messed me up, man. I know.
Yeah,
As
right.
far as I know, Dennis Miller's still alive and kicking. You know, he's kind of funny sometimes.
Well, I remember sometimes there's been several disappearances, and Dennis is actually hard for me to remember. I don't know why.
Well, you were like what in your 20s back then, right?
Yeah, you keep it up. I got your home phone number.
I'm not saying nothing. So
what do you really think happened to him, Bear?
me personally,
Hmm?
I'd say that child was taken, grabbed when they were walking or when he was playing. He probably stepped off the trail to go to the restroom, or he saw something shiny or something he wanted to look at, and the boy was grabbed by one of these Bigfoot that eats humans, and he was seen 5 miles away. And that Bigfoot took him to a cave and made him dinner.
Hmm. And he's never
I
been found.
mean, why would you call the United States Army's Green Berets?
Yeah.
They're special forces. You don't mess with a Green Beret. I mean, and they were armed when they went looking for that boy. So it does not compute in my brain why you would send the Green Berets into an area unless you suspected that what you were going to deal with, you needed special forces to deal with it. You know, and the hearsay evidence that was told afterwards supposedly came from one of the Green Berets was that they found a cave that had a lot of human bones in it, and they found what was left of that boy, and they killed everyone that was one of those creatures that was in that cave. But that's the hearsay. It's
Well,
not been proven.
Well, you're probably right, though. I mean, something like that, instant cover up. You know what I mean? Yeah, cover it up.
I was
Well,
under
look,
I want people to know.
the other thing is if just a few years ago, a boy in North Carolina disappeared for 2 full days in a pouring, driving wind and rainstorm that lasted 48 hours. The boy was disappeared, and whenever he was found in an area that they had searched multiple times, 2 or 3 times, they had searched through that area, and he was found 2 days, the day after the rain stopped, and the boy told the sheriff and his parents that a bear took him into a dry place and kept him warm the whole time when the temperatures were in the upper 30s and low 40s at night. That child should have been dead through hypothermia and being soaking wet. I mean, he would have been dead. Even a grown up would have died through that. And
I think I remember hearing about that story there.
yeah, it happened right in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And that boy said a bear because he didn't have another word for the thing. Protected him and kept him warm and dry. Bear's not going to do that. I'm sorry.
No,
I've bear hunted 30 years or more, 40 years. And no, bear won't do that. They're not going to take a child and protect the child. They would have turned him into meat. That bear would have been eaten.
All right. Another day in Ohio wants to know, there is talk about phantom soldiers that deal with cryptids. Anyone heard of this, or is this nonsense?
Go to Gettysburg and tell me what you find up there. Because we've been to Gettysburg, me and my Mrs. Bear, and we heard a Bigfoot scream the first night we were there behind the Devil's Den. And we were on top of a little round top and heard it scream the second time. And there's multiple paranormal experiences with Civil War, Union, and Confederate all over that battleground.
Yeah.
So if you want to look into it, that'd be a great place to go.
Nope. That sounds like you got ghosts involved. We'll not be there. By the way, Henry, I watched. I'm sorry, Bear. Go ahead.
I'm just saying they won't hurt you, Icebox. We'll protect you.
They'll make you hurt yourself. Henry, I watched one of your videos the other night when it was snowing. Thank you for putting that out there. You showed that area of where you seen yours that when you was on my last show. I appreciate that because that looked very, very good. I really enjoyed that. All right, James wants to know, I guess he wants to know, with all the greenways being built into cities, it would not surprise me if some of these creatures come into cities and take a human.
Well, it's not beyond a Bigfoot to look at us as food. It's happened out in the out west. It's happened here in the east. How many times have Bigfoot been shot at by settlers throughout the years? When they first settled, the Europeans came here to the United States. They didn't deal with those type of creatures. They had old through Europe and Russia, they had, there was rumors of these cryptids, especially, Transylvania, places like that. There was, you know, uh, vampires talked about, werewolves. Throughout Russia, there was talk about the almasty, which is it's a type of Bigfoot. And, these cryptids were talked about throughout the world. And once they came here to the United States, it was just another thing they had to deal with.
Okay. I have yet to say anything about this. I don't know if I've even said anything to you, Bear. And I probably did, but I was sitting at a job site, and little beknownst known to me, there is a greenway that's basically just right to my right behind a set of houses, and I'm not paying no attention to it. But I could look down the road, and I would say probably less than it wasn't even eighth of a mile. It's basically just like 500 yards. I could see this black figure come out of the woods and come down this hill, and there, of course, there's a little swell there of another rise. And when he got to that rise, it looked like he went way down there, and I could still see his knees above the grass. And he was down in that sunken in portion, and it topped. And when it topped that last part of that rise, it took a right, looked, come back out a little bit, went in, and when it hit the woods, gone. Never seen it again. Don't know where it went.
Was it you that saw that?
It was me. I saw it. Yes.
Oh, was that where you live now?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
That's a total different thing. This is actually in Marion, Indiana. I don't mind telling you because I don't like Marion. Sorry.
Somebody's gonna be on here from Marion. They're gonna quit watching your show.
Yeah, I get blessed
You're
out.
supposed
Get
to be gaining
emails.
followers, man, not losing them.
I'm gonna say, Mike made me do it.
Blame it on me.
Yeah, always. I tell him I get in trouble. What's your name? My name's Mike Stewart. All right. Where are the bodies of?
When did you have your first encounter, Tommy? Or what year was it? Because I think the craze started around here in the late 70s. Everybody saw a Bigfoot everywhere they went. Man told me he saw one behind Dairy Queen in Athens. Remember where Dairy Queen is over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was in 82.
You remember what year it was? 82.
Mm-hmm. Best I remember. Now I kind of get thrown away the dates because I've told the story and everybody knows the story.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, it was around 82.
82.
When was yours, Bear?
1984.
Okay. I am a few years older than you are. All right.
Just
a few. I didn't say how many.
You're a few years older than me and old Bear put together, ain't you?
Hey, AARP.
I can't say nothing. I get stuff in the mail from AARP too now, so I guess I can shout about that.
Mine is about 2 or 3 times a year. Now it's every other day.
Yeah.
I don't get nothing from them.
You will. Just wait.
You will.
I don't want nothing to do
just
with
wait.
Okay. Here's something that I'm really curious about, and I haven't talked about this much. And Stephen Hicks brought it up. Is the Candar's giant story with the military true or urban legend?
The Kandahar giant has reports on it from multiple units that were in Kandahar, U.S. Army, and there was Air Force involved in that. And there's reports, but the government will not open the records. So it's not beyond, it's not an unbelievable thing. But You know, they've made it sound like that was a battle between the insurgents in Afghanistan and between U.S. military forces. But according to some people that have talked that were there at that time, it was not, they were not fighting humans. They were fighting a giant from old.
I'm looking at that picture behind you, and directly, almost directly on top of your head is a red one, brownish color. No, you named the wrong way. Uh, but the one beside it that has more of a human-looking face,
Mm-hmm.
that would be the one that I would think that they would be talking about because I heard it was more of a cinnamon color or reddish color. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I heard. And you know how rumors are going to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
I
heard the
know.
new helicopter took the body. All right, Mike, what else you got?
What else do I got?
Hmm?
I'm gonna have to think for a minute, so y'all go ahead and talk because I lost my list.
You lost it.
I think I threw it away a while ago.
You were doing so good.
I was, I'll come up with something good here in a minute. I heard a
Okay.
Chinook helicopter took the body. Probably did. It's probably locked away somewhere in some museum or something, and you'll never know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's, you're talking about the skeptic part is I've seen crazy stuff in the sky,
Mm-hmm.
so I believe in UFOs. If I had I'm sure they're there. It's look at all the unexplained stuff that gets found every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but you never seen anything like that. It makes it a little hard to believe. But do I believe they're there? Yeah, of course I do.
Well, without seeing one, Mike, what would it take to convince you? I mean, thoroughly convince you that you could. Oh yeah, they're real. Instead of having questions in your mind, what would it take to do that?
If somebody would come out with something like, look here, here's a study we got, and I've got autopsies and pictures, and probably something like that.
You talking about something official?
Oh, official, yeah. But you probably will never see it. So that's the thing with that.
Huh.
Everybody thinks I'm a Nephilim too. Another day in Ohio.
There's a joke behind that.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah. Is this a PG audience? So I probably better shouldn't tell it.
Yeah, it is a PG audience.
Yes.
All right. Well, O'Barry, have you got a question for Mike?
Along the lines of what Icebox just asked you, if you were out somewhere and you heard a Bigfoot howl now, and you went to investigate what it was, and you came upon one of these creatures, would you have the wherewithal to whip out a camera and take video, and or do you think that it would shock your system so bad that you would do what most people do when they say they see them disappear or whatever, walk into a portal or walk behind a tree and never see them again? Do you think your system would shut down on you?
I don't think so. It wouldn't take very much for me at all to get away from the skeptic part of that. I mean, if I saw a footprint, I'd be okay. Now I know. Yeah. But where we live here now, there's no woods and stuff anymore, so you really can't go out and explore around here anymore because this place is just. Tommy tell you, well, he hadn't been here in a couple of years, but it's nuts around here. There's hardly any woods around here anymore. It's all subdivisions and apartment complexes. Yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't take much convincing for me.
So you're saying a footprint?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Something that when somebody talks to me about Bigfoot evidence, I ask them take the Bigfoot part out of it. That to me is the best way to go about it. If you take out, okay, this is not a Bigfoot. What done this? If you can't find another logical reason to say that it's a bobcat, a bear, whatever else you want to come up with out in the woods that is known, and if it don't fit what their habits or what they do, what else can it be? Then you have to go to outside of their logical mind, I call it. You have to look at the illogical. That is not something that is per se known and has been admitted to officially by either governments, whatever. But if you take the Bigfoot out, what you got left? And if you still got nothing, it can only be something else.
Like say it wouldn't take much at all.
Would tree bows do it?
No, there's no trees around here anymore.
No, I'm just saying if you saw something like that.
If I saw a tree, yeah, it would. Because what could do that other than something like that? What I mean?
So pictures itself wouldn't do it for you. Video wouldn't do it for you.
I would have to see. Yeah.
With your own two eyes.
Because I've seen too many videos of, oh, there's a Bigfoot right there. Where? What's that one we keep joking about all the time? Oh, there he goes.
There he goes.
Well, I didn't see nothing in it. I didn't see nothing going nowhere. What was that guy's name? You remember?
I can't remember his name.
You said it was Dougie that sent it. I thought it was you that sent that to me and Doug, but Doug sent it to me and you.
Yeah, Doug sent it to me and you. And it's a running joke.
Yeah, it's a running joke. But, anything like visual that I could see with my eyes and not through a picture or a video or something like that, I'd be right on board.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can't make that happen.
Well, you go right on ahead, big boy.
No, and you don't tempt me. Yeah, don't tempt me. Tell him, Bear. I've got a camper now.
Hey, Mike, he's learning from me. So, and I've done this for 40 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's learning. He's getting better. He's not an expert yet, but he's getting there.
He's kind of slow, so you're gonna have to give him some time.
Well, I know we have to use a whip and a stick sometimes to get him to,
Yeah.
Y'all should have talked about when I was sitting here with the control button. You know what I mean?
You got the red. It wouldn't be the first time you red button me, would it?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time you hit me with the red button, would it?
Hey, you got a red button too. Click. I can just hang it.
Yeah, I got a big X up here in this corner. Just got to click on it.
Let's see here. All right, John. I don't know who John is. I'm glad to see you. He's looking for researchers in Youngstown, Ohio. Got any contacts? I don't know of anybody in Youngstown. I don't know where Youngstown is particularly at. Barefoot Tracks of Snow.
It's in Ohio. Didn't you pay attention?
Yeah, I figured that much.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well, it's just northeast of Salt Fork.
Northeast?
Yeah, you'd be in Youngstown in less than probably about an hour, 30-minute drive, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know anybody up there. So I myself can't help you, John. I wish I could. I really do. Because I don't recommend just anybody. Let's put it that way. Do you want to tackle the Nephilim?
Me?
Either one of you. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll take it.
When the angels came down and had sex with the humans and then made Nephilims? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's about all I know about
them. I will put it to you like this. And until I am proven or you can show me, and I'm going to answer Steve's question in a minute, that it is DNA-wise, that it can do things that, what does the Nephilim do? Is it just come down here and supposedly done this, and now these are the resulting critters or creatures or however you want to call them. I'm gonna tell you like this: when I go looking and try to find one of these creatures, I'm looking for a beast. I'm not looking for a human. Uh, do they have some human ways? I'm sure they do. I mean, most apes do, as far as that goes. So that still doesn't present to me anything about this Nephilim. Everybody's getting this from the Book of Enoch. I understand that, but I don't recall the Book of Enoch being in quote the King James Version Holy Bible.
Right.
Unless I'm wrong, somebody tell me. Uh, so if it's not in the quote King James Bible, I don't take it all the way to heart, just like the Dead Sea Scrolls or anything else. Because if that was part of fact, it would have been put in there. I believe. I don't know, but that's my reasoning that I stick to that. If the Nephilim is a real deal, it needs to be proven to me and not just assumed. Let's put it that way. Until then, I am looking for a beast. That is the best way to find them, and that's how I go about it. So that's my view on Nephilim. I ain't saying that it ain't, because there's stranger things out there that I don't know about. So, but until then, that's the way I have to go.
Right. Well, the Nephilim, everybody tends to get the Nephilim wrong. The Holy Bible speaks of the giants of old before the flood. And then after the flood is when the Nephilim came into the picture, because according to the Bible, Goliath was a Nephilim. They had hair all over him, reddish colored hair, and he was he was over 9 foot tall. He was, and he understood the languages of the time, which was Aramaic, Hebrew, and other languages from other tribes of people of that time. He knew those languages. He could speak the language from where he was, from the military that he was in. And he had 4 brothers. And when David, as a teenage boy, went out and confronted him and slew him with a simple sling and one rock, the Nephilim were a type of human, but the Nephilim were in the larger sizes, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 feet tall. He had 4 brothers that were bigger than him, that were older than him. And after he was slain by David, and David was commanded by God, it's in the Bible, to go back and slay the rest of his brothers, which he did after he became king of the children of Israel. And once that happened, the Nephilim were kicked out of societies throughout the Middle East. They were pushed out of society, and they lived on the fringes of society. And everybody says, no, the Nephilim were, during the time of Noah and all that. No, they weren't. That was the giants of old. There's a big difference between them. The giants of old were spoken of being 20, 30, 40, 60 feet tall. The Nephilim are not that tall. They were spoken of in the no more than 12-foot range. And the Nephilim were during the time of King David, because he slew Goliath. And Goliath was a Nephilim, not a giant of old. Big difference in the Holy Bible. And it's in the King James Version.
Okay. I got to bring this gentleman on real quick. Linda, thank you. I appreciate that. We all have difference of opinions, but there's going to be a time I'm going to do a show just to hear why people think this or that. Basically, give them a voice. You know what I'm saying? Whether I believe in it or not, try to help me understand why you think a certain way. But anyways, this is a good friend of mine. I think he may have a couple questions for you. Mr. Steve, how you doing?
Hey guys, I can't be long because I got to do stuff myself. But I was just curious, though. I mean, really, though, what would you do? You got your camera. I know you would take pictures and stuff. But what if you were out in the woods and one come up to you and wasn't aggressive? Maybe, some animals ask for help. Maybe something's going on. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, what would you do? I mean, in kind of what would you think you would do? Would you just keep taking pictures? What, by your knowledge, would you try to lure it in a car? I mean, nope. I don't know.
Nope.
I mean, I'm just saying, what would you think you would do if you did came across one and you could 10 minutes of filming, doing whatever you wanted? Is that all you would probably do, is just film it?
That's a really good question.
Maybe some kind of communication to see if there's any way, you could communicate with them or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a shot anyway.
Right.
Before it ripped my arm off or something.
I mean, you never know. You don't know. I mean, if there's a 1 in a million shot, you could come across one that says, hey, I'm friendly, I need help, I'm alone, or whatever. And
you're giving the scenario of the thorn in the lion's paw.
Yeah. I'm just saying, though, I mean, what would anybody do if they came across the Bigfoot without shooting it? Of course, if you knew he was like a dog, he's coming up to you, you can tell he's not threatening. You can tell by his behavior, he's coming towards you and he's not aggressive. Would you run? Would you stay? I mean, I don't know what I would do either.
Too old to run.
Stay still, huh? Stay still. I mean, some of you saw, like, Bigfoot, when you saw it, you ducked down. I mean, icebox. And now I'm calling him Bigfoot. I called him something else last night. But anyways, icebox. But when you were in your house or whatever, and you were looking out the window, you ducked down. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you were looking eye to eye, what did you think? What did you think at that moment?
Well, let's clarify ducking down and the reasoning behind it.
Let's get back to why did you and all that. Yeah,
exactly. You got to remember, I seen a figure. When I say a figure, a shadow, basically go across my back window down the hallway. And when I looked out this way, I'm already laying down on my couch, and I'm looking out the window here. I see it, and it's turning to come down the side of it. The only reason I laid down was to, one, not to spook it, and to see if it would come close enough that I would get a closer view. That's when I laid down this way. So there's a difference in ducking and setting something up. And that's what I've done. I set something up. There wasn't a fear when I saw this thing, okay? It was more of a curiosity. Can I get it closer? Can I really get to see what I'm thinking this is, but if I seen one, Bear asked me a question one time last year. He said, what would you do if you woke up and you seen Bigfoot's face in your car window looking at you?
Yeah.
And my immediate response was, Bear can back me up. First off, I said, first I want to make sure that it's not a human messing around. That's going to be the first thing hits my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, would it spook you? Send that shock of adrenaline? I'm sure it would. I can't say that it would.
Sure anybody would be like, anybody.
They'll have moments. You know what I'm saying?
You reaching for your license and registration?
No, I
How much
haven't
have
been
you had to
smoking
drink
off
tonight?
the
Type deal. Yeah.
How much had you drink tonight, there, sir?
But what
I
you
haven't
was,
been drinking, officer. You look awfully cold tonight.
but I mean, once you establish that, and all this is going to happen within
Yeah,
a moment
yeah,
of time.
yeah,
But I told him my next thing was if it's clarified that it is a Bigfoot, what's its body intentions? What's it doing? Is it growling? Is it snarling? Is it showing its teeth? Is it
yeah.
acting like
Right.
any kind of animal is got their signs that like the
Yes.
bristles of the hair of
That's
somebody's
what I
back,
mean.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
like they're trying to be aggressive, they're not being submissive.
Yeah.
Okay. If it don't
Submissive.
do nothing and it's not giving me body indications that it's
Yeah.
fixing to turn aggressive, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I might even go away, that type deal. Who knows? But I don't think there will be a lot of fear. But now, if it screamed and it hollered and it's coming
Yeah.
at a bull rush like it's going to toss your vehicle,
Yeah. 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 Then I'd run. Yeah.
but well, I'm in the car. That's the scenario that he
Oh
put
yeah.
me
If
in.
you're in the
Yeah,
car. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's
I'd
coming
tail
running
off.
with bad intentions,
Yeah.
I'm fixing to meet it with some bad intentions. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. I want to live to tell the story.
Yeah.
Put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
That's cool.
I left them two at you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool though. That would. Yeah. Because I mean, they seem like they're getting to be more. What I'm getting at is for us non-believers, skeptic. Okay, skeptic. For some of you, like we're saying, you guys have seen or you have proof. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even had a footprint in my yard. Is what I'm getting at. Is to get me to believe yet is what I'm getting at. But you never know. These things are starting to get more. It's more popular, and you never know if I'm in the woods. What's to say I can never run into one? But there's got to be a friendly one out there.
Sure.
Someone's going to have, somebody's going to be rich one of these days.
Sure.
That's
know what I
keep
mean?
thinking. One of these days, something's going to slip out and it's going to make it to the news or the newspaper. Well, nobody reads newspaper anymore, so I scratched that one.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, it's someone's gonna. I mean, let's just say you have one in the area, and he's there. You've seen contact. He's not aggressive, but like that lady that went over and found the silverbacks. We were kind of talking about the apes. About this last night now, and she stays. I mean, you become friendly with it. Some you don't know. I think you give it time. I mean, I know we're in 2025s, but Bigfoot's been going on since what, and now it's been going where people are actually hunt. I mean, more believers
Actively searching for it.
Yes. So someone's going to hit the jackpot.
Well,
that's what we were talking about earlier too. If they came out and hey, yes, this is real and all, everybody would be in the woods. Well, lost my connection again.
Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is, I understand what you're saying, and there's many people out there now that are interacting with Bigfoot. They're
okay.
They're out there. They're gifting these creatures. They're leaving apples or some kind of a natural food that they would eat.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. I'm going to say this. People have done it multiple times. There's Bigfoot researchers that go out there and put peanut butter out for them, put apples out for them, oranges, bananas, and stuff of that nature. And they go back and these things are there. And that's fine. But the problem is you have to remember these creatures have a temperament that if you upset them, their temperament alone can get you killed. And if a Bigfoot comes up to you and it's injured and it's in some way it's showing you that it's, you know, its fingers missing and something of that nature. Personally, I would try to help it if I can.
Okay.
But you always have to remember they have an animal side and you have to respect that. And if you are out there interacting with these creatures and you're in close proximity, you have to be very cautious, just like Jane Goodall did when she went and found the silverback gorillas in the African jungle. She had to be super cautious at all times around them because they're an animal. You don't know how they're going to react to you at any given moment in any given situation. And it's there's people out there now that are interacting with these creatures by either gifting to them or doing something of that nature. And you know, there's a mutual respect there, but the human has to be very careful because these creatures can rip you apart in no time.
Oh right.
I think
I understand
one of the most important things that I've read on here tonight, and I just posted it up there. Once you've got to get over the awe, you take Mike or you yourself. To me, I won't be so much in awe. It's to be, I mean, you know, I'm in a different boat, you know. But for you guys, and that's what Bear was alluding to earlier. What do you think would happen to you in your mind if you actually seen one? Would you be just like Miss Lori said? By the way, hi Lori. I'm glad you're in there. You put up some good stuff, and so is Henry. And Tim,
And thank
how you doing,
for
buddy?
letting me up. Thank you for letting me come up, Icebox. I didn't know if this is private. I just kind of I saw the restream thing, and I didn't know if it was open to the public or not. So I just tried it.
It is.
Okay.
No,
thank you.
No, you're fine, and I'm proud you come up because Steve is one of my good friends. I come on the show every now and then just to chit chat. You know, we have a good time, pick at one another, aggravate, and it's just a good thing to do. And I enjoy Steve. But anyways, you got to get over that all. So I'm wondering, Mike, what do you think your mind would go to? Would it be like, oh my goodness, they're real? Oh, I got to go now. We got to leave now. It's in that flight mode, or would you stand your ground to see what it does? What do you think would happen? You go around a curve, a grassy curve that just breaks out of woods, and all of a sudden you see one standing there, and it darts off to the right or left. What do you think you would do? It's not coming at you. It just sees you and it starts walking away and it's watching you as it leaves. What would you do? That you think you might?
Well, I think that would be my proof that they're real right offhand.
Is it bang bang?
But probably stand my ground. Yeah, I mean, if they're not being aggressive, why would I? You know,
Yeah.
Just check out the situation and see, you know, what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I would hate to, but then lead would probably start flying when it started running at me, but you never know till you're in that situation either.
Yeah. What do you think you would do, Steve?
So,
well, to make it quick, I gotta go. But what I would do is exactly like him. I'd be a believer. I mean, there would be no doubt. I believe. I'm not skeptical. I believe there's something out there. I do believe they exist. As many and how, I mean, and what, there's something, like me, I mean, I can't say I would, but like good points like Bear, like, let's just say that I see one in the woods, and what if it's my lucky day? What if he is friendly, or he's I don't have a camera. I don't even have a camera. I don't even have my phone on me. What would you do? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, weird things have happened. People, You know, just sit there and be non-aggressive like a dog coming to you. Don't show fear, I guess. Just stand there and just be natural. And I mean, I don't know. And then get back to like Icebox said, coming around the corner and there he is. First thing I would be like, okay, I got to get a hold of Icebox. We got to keep this a secret. And I'm calling him. And he's going to get his boys. And
The first thing I do is get on there. Hey, guys, y'all ain't going to believe this.
You ain't gonna believe
But
this.
other than that,
How many times have you said that?
No, really? That would be the first. If I came across something, you guys would be the first to know it.
Oh, yeah.
You
Well,
know.
no.
So usually when Icebox says you ain't gonna believe this,
So,
you know how the story goes. Yeah.
but I gotta go, guys. It's
Thank
been
you, Steve.
fun. I just want to know what you would, because it's interesting. Because, like I said, you don't know. The odds are coming out. Someone's gonna hit the jackpot, and you know what's gonna suck? It's gonna be somebody without a camera, or maybe with a camera, and has nothing to do with Bigfoot. And you guys are gonna be like, "Why couldn't that be me? Why couldn't that be me?"
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind if it happens. All it does is
Yeah.
vindicate probably thousands of people in the, at least in the States.
Yeah.
Of what, I don't care.
Right.
I really don't.
Right. Right.
I told you last night what my deal is. But anyways, I'll let you go, Steve. Appreciate you coming on.
We'll see you guys. Have a great
buddy.
night. I'll be back again.
See
Thanks,
you, man.
Steve. All right. So that was interesting.
That is really interesting. What would you do?
Now let me put.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say till it actually happens. So you can say this, but it might be a totally different thing.
Well, like in my position, all right, it was a wall in between us. Okay, granted, a thin wall, a matchstick compared to one of these things, but still there was the added security of that wall. We go camping, okay, matchsticks. Just to be honest with you, if something really wants to get violent with us, whether it be one of these creatures or not, they can do some damage. It's really just it's about like, I'm gonna put it like this: people that go armed is basically for insurance to make them feel better. You know what I'm saying? If you miss that shot,
yeah,
or whatever you do, it's just something it makes me feel better. I'll tell you that much. But my intention is not to shoot one. Be honest with you, I'll do everything not to. You know what I'm saying? But when left no choice, it's me or it. It's going to be it if I can help it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, what would you do if it was aggressive, Mike?
probably lay down on the ground. I mean, hey, I'm a big old fella, but I'm not 8 foot tall and 600 pounds. And you think it'd probably just rip you to pieces without putting much of an effort into it, so you might be SOL.
Yeah.
It's just, like we were talking, it's, not aggressive or whatnot.
I told my wife today, I said, do you know what the difference between bravery and stupid is? I've often said there's a fine line, but do you know what the difference is?
No, it's a very fine line.
I told her.
And by the way, tell Anna I said hello.
I will, sure will. I told her the difference between bravery and stupidity is the outcome. The same action could prove you brave, or that same action could get you hurt, and therefore you're going to be called stupid. How stupid were you to do so? If it come out good, man, you sure were brave doing it. Congratulations. You see what I'm saying? That's your difference between stupidity and bravery is the outcome. All right. Have you got any other questions for Mr. Bear while we're here?
No, I don't think so. I think, he sees where I'm coming from now. If I had proof of it, I'd be right on board with y'all, man, in a heartbeat. Well, according to Miss Lori Gibbs, and we're just SOL.
I know what Bear would do. I've been around him. I know what he would do in either scenario. I know what he would do. He's like me. We're not out to hunt him, to hurt him. Uh,
Oh no,
it,
no,
it,
wouldn't
yeah,
think of
it's
it.
kind of like this. Uh, I want to know their habits, where they sleep, where they live, how they live, what they eat. Uh, do they have litters, or or they have single kids, or do they climb trees? Do they live in caves? Do they make holes? Do they yada yada? Do they use tools? That's what I want to know. It's not do they exist. Where somebody like
You just want to
yeah,
study.
basically a study
Yeah.
of an interest that I have been interested in pretty much all my life. So, and Bear's really helped me out a whole lot in that regard. So, all right, if you guys are done, believe it or not, Mike, with just you and thankful to the chat room, we've been over here over an hour. Show Mike the truth, Icebox. I'm planning on it.
Show
Linda,
me
I'm
the truth.
planning on it. I'm devious. Ask Bear. I'm devious in my mind that you just don't know about. Mike's been around me. I'll pull some stuff you just don't know. You got to watch. Stay on your toes.
All you do start trouble and then run away. That's what he does, Bear. You better watch him.
I know.
He'll start the trouble. And you'll be the one left standing there holding the bag.
I'm gonna tell you this story, and then I'm gonna let you guys do your thing. Me and the wife went outside the house one night, and there was this awful, awful racket. I mean, you would have thought it was a Bigfoot, just to be honest with you. Right there at a fence line. I mean, it was just tearing it up, just making all kinds of noise. She looked at me. She goes, "What is that?" I said, "I don't know. Why don't you go out there and check it out?" She said, "What if it gets after me?" I said, "Well, run that way. Don't come up here. Go somewhere else." She says, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm a better storyteller than you are. One of us got to tell stories." All right. Mike, do you have any other questions for Robert?
No, I'm
You
good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
Well, I hope I didn't bore y'all
no,
too
I've
bad.
enjoyed you.
If you let,
It's fun.
I'll have some better questions the next time I come on. I promise.
You did fine, Mike.
Bear, you want to respond to anything that we have talked about tonight before we get off here?
No, I mean, I've said everything that I can say on it.
Okay. All right. Well, I've had a good time. I really have, Mike. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I had fun, man. Yeah, it's good to
You,
talk with
you
y'all.
saved yourself some embarrassment because I was going to have Doug all over you tomorrow if you didn't show. It was going to be bad. All right. But anyway, Josh Inslee, Linda Thompson. Linda, I really do appreciate you being here tonight. I don't care. Even me and O'Bear, we don't always agree on everything. But, and I might not always agree with anybody in the chat room, but that don't mean we can't discuss it and have an open mind somewhat. You know what I'm saying? But Linda Thompson, I'm so glad you were here.
That's what it's all
Stephen
about.
Hicks, Lori Gibbs. Let's see, Tim Gayhart, I believe you're on here. Yep, and Miss Joanne. And I'm not going to go all the way back up. Thomas, hello, buddy. Glad to see you. Henry, you got to say hi to my buddy Henry. There were several others on here. John, if I remember correctly. Who else was on here? I know Van was on here. I'm just kind of going through the line. Guys, if I didn't mention your name, it's because you were on earlier in the show. You hadn't said nothing recent, but I really do appreciate you guys being here, coming with us and enjoying a good conversation. Again, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Bear, as always, love you being on the show, and I really appreciate you coming on, giving your time.
Anytime.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll catch y'all in hopefully 2 weeks. I'm going to arrange up an interview for you guys. It's going to be really pretty interesting. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Y'all have a wonderful work week. Y'all be safe, stay warm, and we'll see y'all then. Y'all take care.